Hey everyone, how's everybody doing? Happy Friday. And man, I look tired. But anyway, I'm gonna hit you guys with something special this week. 2 uploads in 1 week because Valentine's Day is coming up, and I know with this whole craziness going on, people want to go out, but they might not be able to. But don't worry, I got you with something that is super good, and to me, it's probably one of the best things to show anybody that you care about them, because fresh made pasta is something that takes a lot of time, and it shows, to me at least, that you care to that person through cooking because the time it takes, especially when you hand roll it out. So today we're going to be doing a fresh chicken Alfredo with the mother sauce, handmade, everything done from scratch. So let it get going. So everyone, we're going to go ahead and get this pasta going. This is the first thing we got to get going, that's going to take the longest. So here we're going to take about 3 to 4 cups of AP flour. You can also use double zero flour if you want that more velvety, but most people don't have that, so I just used AP flour, so keep it simple. Then we're going to take 4 eggs. My bad, I mean 1 whole egg, and then 3 egg yolks. And then we're going to season that with some salt, a little bit of olive oil, and we're going to whisk that up. As we whisk it and get everything incorporated, hit a little bit of the flour at a time until we get it nice incorporated. At a certain point, you can just take it and decide to use your hand, or I'm using a dough cutter to get everything incorporated. And this is what it should start to look like. Enough to start kneading. You're going to knead this for no more or no less than 10 minutes at a timer until you get it velvety smooth like this. Once that it's nice and smooth, we're going to wrap this bad boy up and let it sit for an hour. You can also do 30 minutes if you want. I did an hour just to make sure everything's loosened and the gluten is nice and relaxed. While this is resting, we'll go ahead and start on our mise en place for our sauce. Now we're going to get everything set up for our sauce. This is considered a mother sauce or a lead sauce, or, the actual name is called a Bechamel. So what we're going to do is cut up a whole onion into quarters. I did 2 of them, and you're going to peel them. Don't worry about trying to separate them. We're going to put everything, it's going to just sit in there and boil. Then we're going to take some garlic. Here I used about 7, and then we're going to crush it, and then we're going to put 2 cups of milk, and I went ahead and threw a cup of heavy cream in there just to give it a little bit extra thickener. We're going to warm that up. Don't turn it on too high because we got to bring it up so the milk don't scald. The worst thing you can do is burnt milk, and I don't know about you, if you ever smelled it, burnt milk smells horrible. So once that's warmed up, we're going to take our onions and garlic and throw it in there with some bay leaves, and I used some peppers. You don't have to, I just wanted a little bit of spice to it, so I took some habanero and some Thai chilies and threw them in there. It's added a little bit of kick to it and a little bit of flair that you want. So we're going to cook this down for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. After that, we're going to go and add our chicken stock. Here I'm using chicken. While everything is cooking, we're going to go ahead and get our chicken ready. Here I took a chicken breast and pretty much butterflied it. You don't want it too thick, but you don't want it too thin for this. You want it just, thin enough so you get some meat. So the chicken breast I had was a little too thick, so I decided to butterfly it and cut that piece off. You can also just take that and save that for later. Make some good chicken nuggies, or you can make a little fried chicken, or make some chicken curry with that. So here, we're going to put this in a plastic bag. You can also use saran wrap. Here I just had a Ziploc bag because it stops it from tearing, and you're gonna pretty much beat this down like it owes you money until you get about a 1/4 of an inch, and then it should be golden. We're gonna take the chicken boobies and set them aside. We're gonna season our flour. Here I used about a 1/2 cup of AP flour, and I threw in there about a 1/4 cup of cornstarch. It's gonna make it nice and crispy. Then I used a tablespoon of each of cayenne, paprika, and I used a little bit of this oil and seasoning that I have from Voodoo Chef. I'll go ahead and put the link down in the description if you guys are curious about it. And I took about a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. So everything should be set up and our dough should be ready to go. So here we're gonna cut this in half and we're gonna cut this in quarters. We're gonna roll this out until you have enough to make how many servings you need. Here, the servings for all this should give you about 5 or 6. So if you don't use all of it, that's fine. You can go ahead and freeze it and use it for a different time. You're gonna try to put this into a little bit of a rectangle. Makes it easier and even to actual roll out. So here, what we're gonna do is roll this out. Don't be afraid to use flour, that's fine. It's gonna keep it from sticking and keep the dough from sticking on itself. So for the thickness on this, you know, there's a lot of sayings. I love the sayings of, you know, the dough for flour should be as thin as for you to read a love letter through. Because back in the day, that's what, you know, what they said, because pasta takes so much time to make. So, you know, this is why I thought this is a perfect example of Valentine's Day and showing you care and love somebody. So here, as you can see, you can kind of see the actual countertop underneath it. So once we do that, we're gonna pretty much fold it just like this. We're gonna fold it all the way through, make sure you get everything in there nice and tight. Once we get everything rolled up, you can go ahead and use a knife, or I'm using a dough cutter, that's fine. We're gonna pretty much cut this into a little bit less than a 1/4 inch. This is gonna give you the fettuccine type of pasta you're looking for. Here I'm using, it's pretty much gonna make 2 servings for me right here. You know, I gotta, you know, have some for dinner for tomorrow, you know. But we're gonna roll this out and pretty much just continue on. And then after you're done doing this, you're gonna make sure you have water already set aside to start boiling. And you're gonna pretty much salt this vigorously because the pasta is not gonna sit there for very long. Maybe 3 to 5 minutes to cook. Fresh pasta doesn't take very long to cook, so you're not gonna be boiling it as long. So go ahead and salt this water vigorously, because the shorter amount of time that something sits in the water, the more you want to season it, the more it's going to give the flavor to the pasta. By now, our Bechamel sauce should be ready to actually turn it into Alfredo sauce. So here, you're gonna pretty much strain everything out, get it nice and smooth. While everything is in there and everything is strained out, we're gonna start adding our Parmesan cheese to this. I use freshly grated, but you can go ahead and buy the store stuff. I just prefer to actually grate it myself. So here, you're gonna keep whisking this as you add cheese. It's gonna keep the cheese from clumping. It's gonna give that nice, velvety, smooth thickness that you're looking for. Here, normally they tell you to use a white roux, but I don't use a roux for the pure fact of, you know, sometimes you get that floury taste, so I just use cheese until I get that nice thickness. So once you get that thickness, we're gonna go and get our chicken going. So here, I breaded it, and I only did one way, so I breaded it, put the chicken in, got a nice color on it, let this cook all the way through. Once it's cooked, you're gonna let it sit for about 10 to 15 seconds to get that meat nice and juicy. Now it's time to get everything going. You know, we're gonna go ahead and put some oil in a pan, get that nice and hot. We're gonna take some finely sliced garlic, throw that in there until you get a nice color. Once you get a little bit of color going, we're gonna take some finely chopped parsley and throw it in there. It's gonna kind of pop a little bit, but that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and get that a little bit of cook through. Once that gives that a good cook through, we're gonna throw up pasta in there, and you're gonna get a little bit of warm, let it going through. Once it gets nice and warm, we're gonna go and add our actual Alfredo sauce, and we're gonna give it a real cook, maybe 5 minutes or so. Get everything nice and warm, get everything incorporated, and we're gonna go ahead and start plating this. This is the Alfredo sauce. Man, it looks really good to me. Hopefully you guys enjoy this too. Now it's time to start plating and everything. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully it gives you an awesome idea for a dinner date, especially during these trying times, instead of not being able to go out and all that stuff, because every state's different or every place is different. Hopefully, you know, you guys see this and see how much time it takes, and see that, you know, why I said this is a perfect Valentine's Day dinner. You know, this shows how much you care for anybody, you know, taking the time. So hopefully you guys have an awesome Valentine's Day. Also, President's Day this weekend, so hopefully you guys are having a good 3-day weekend. I hope you guys catch you guys back next time, and don't forget to subscribe so you guys don't miss any more how-to videos. So hopefully you guys are having an awesome day, and you guys have an awesome weekend. Peace.